After seeing the Golden State Warriors' first preseason game, I have one huge question. Where does Jonathan Kuminga fit in? I want to dive into that in this video. If you enjoy it, smash the like button for me, hit subscribe and the bell for notifications. I really appreciate all the love and support. But before I do, this video is being brought to you by Bridges and Stones Family and Relationship Care. If someone you know and care for is struggling with their mental health or relationship, go to bridgesandstones.com and contact them for your free consultation today. One brave act today can create a better tomorrow. Remember, none of us make it alone. The link is in the description box below. This preseason game answered a lot of questions for me. And I know that a lot of people can say, how are you reading into this one preseason game? But something that I was really curious to see was what the identity of this team was going to be after Klay Thompson left. Klay Thompson, let's be clear, was a huge part of the Golden State Warriors' makeup throughout his entire career. Steph's career, Draymond's career. He was an essential fragment of what that team was, who they are. And so for him, not even being in the locker room, not even being there on the court, meant that other guys were going to have to fill in and determine who they were going to be. And they were going to have to come together collectively as a team. We're going to have to see more leadership out of Stephen Curry. Draymond Green is going to have to step forward as a leader for a lot of these young guys. And we were going to see the impact that they were going to have and the direction this team was going to take. Well, one thing that is for sure is that this team is a Steve Kerr team. They're going to move the ball. They're going to play very unselfishly. They're going to be a high IQ team because he's not an X's and O's coach. And they're going to continue to play gritty, hard defense. But here's the thing. Jonathan Kuminga is not exactly known for any of those things. He's not a facilitator, playmaker, really. He's more of a finisher. He's not a gritty, in-your-face defender who really digs in. And he doesn't necessarily keep his body moving. He kind of stands around and waits for the ball. But the thing is, there's another guy on this roster who probably does that role better still, and that's Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins, the 6'9" forward, who was their second best player in their last championship run a few years back. Andrew Wiggins, who's a few inches taller and longer than Kuminga, who understands how to play different positions a little bit better and buys in a little bit more defensively, especially on the ball, maybe not as much in help defense. But this is another wrinkle that I want to throw in there. There's another guy on this team that they picked up in the offseason. De'Anthony Melton. De'Anthony Melton got picked up by the Golden State Warriors from the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, yes, he had a down year last season, mostly because of injury. But this is somebody that, as the commentators pointed out, was someone that the Golden State Warriors have been trying to get for a while because they love his style of play. His ability to play on and off the ball, great defense, makes quick decisions, can shoot the ball from range, and he's able to get other guys involved with his playmaking. He becomes the perfect backcourt mate for Stephen Curry, a point of attack defender who can get other guys involved and knock down shots at a high clip. No, he's not going to be Klay Thompson, but he can knock it down at a close to 40% clip from the three-point line. Playing alongside Draymond Green and Stephen Curry, he's going to get plenty of looks. And that type of reliability is absolutely invaluable for this franchise and team. So the likelihood is we see De'Anthony Melton in that starting lineup as the season begins in a few weeks. So where does that leave the rest of the roster? Well, Trace Jackson Davis is their incumbent center, right? He's not necessarily, NBA starting level, but he can get the job done, enough of what you need done for them to remain competitive, or they would like to think so, hope so. Then you have Draymond Green, the core of the franchise, the heartbeat, we all know. And then you got Steph. That leaves one other spot in that starting lineup. And that is where this topic comes in. Is it Jonathan Kuminga or is it Andrew Wiggins? Well, this first game, watching it, Jonathan Kuminga didn't look very good. He didn't necessarily look like he understood the assignment. There were moments, there were flashes, there were highlights. Definitely, you see the talent, you see the ability. But The different things that Andrew Wiggins has already fine-tuned his game to learn how to do, Jonathan Kuminga is still learning to do. But here's the thing. Wiggins had a down year last season. A really rough season. Yes, he was going through some personal things. The passing of a dear loved one, a parent. We give them all the space in the world for that. Hey, athletes are human beings, and they deserve the space to be human, not a robot to where they produce how we all want them to every single season. But all that's to say is Andrew Wiggins might have his wits about him and his feet back under him and ready to return back to who he was when he was the second best player in a championship team. And if so, how is Jonathan Kuminga better than that? Not just that, but right now, as things stand, because we haven't seen that yet out of Andrew Wiggins, who's actually lining up to trade for him? Who's asking for that $26 million, $28 million, $30 million contract over the next 3 seasons? And so if you can't trade a player who has the second largest contract on the team, and you only have one spot available in that starting lineup, he's probably going to get that spot. And that would mean placing your extremely talented young player going into a contract year, Jonathan Kuminga, on the bench. No, I don't think that that's going to be a bad position for him. I think he can still produce there at a really high clip, probably similar to what he did last season. But here's the thing. Will they be able to re-sign him in the offseason? If they cannot move on from Andrew Wiggins, if they can't free up cap space for somebody who's probably going to demand over $20 million a year, easily, there should be plenty of teams lining up to be able to take a chance on him saying, you know what, I know there's not a space in Golden State, but I bet in our system over here, he can be a number one option for a playoff team. Think teams like the Washington Wizards. Think teams like the Brooklyn Nets. Teams that are in need of a high-level number one and number two option scorer who can use some excitement to fill seats in the stands. Why would they not throw $20, $30 million at a Jonathan Kuminga? Because I guarantee you, once he gets there, he's going to average at least 22 to 25 points a game, easily, in a different system. And so this is the kind of the paradox that the Golden State Warriors find themselves in. Do we move on from this young, talented player who could potentially be a future cornerstone for us, but doesn't quite fit who we are? Doesn't quite quit our superstar who's still here playing at a high level, who just had an amazing game in the Olympics, right, to close it out and win the gold. He's still somewhat in his prime. You still got Draymond Green. You still got Steve Kerr. Are you becoming something different that's going to maximize who Jonathan Kuminga can be for you? And if not, if the answer is no, it might be time for Jonathan Kuminga to go. Now the question might be, where might he go to? For who? And my thoughts are probably someone who has a center that can upgrade the Golden State Warriors there. But that's neither here nor there for this discussion. Right now, I want to know what you all think. Do you think Jonathan Kuminga is going to be able to get that starting spot? Do you think he's going to be on the team at the end of the season? Do you think they re-sign him or they trade him? Let me know what you think in the comments section. And as always, you know the drill. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Definitely share this video in group chats and get at me in the comments section. And I'm going to get at y'all there. Peace.